Chosen one, listen carefully. God's urgent call for your future. God has a powerful and life-changing message for you today, one that requires your immediate attention. He is speaking directly to your heart, urging you to take a bold step of faith. This message is about your destiny, your purpose, and the incredible plans He has for your future. The Lord declares, "The season of waiting is over. Before this year comes to an end, I will reveal the one I have chosen for you." This is not a gentle whisper of comfort, but a divine decree, a summons from heaven itself. You have walked through long nights of loneliness, wondering if your prayers were heard, if your hope was in vain. Yet every tear you shed was seen, every silent cry recorded, and every unanswered question was part of the preparation. Now, heaven is calling you to step into a new chapter of destiny. This is not a season for hesitation or disbelief, but a moment of divine transition. The doors that once seemed closed are beginning to open, and the pieces that never made sense are finally coming together. God is positioning you for a covenant, not just a relationship. He is preparing to unite you with the one who carries the key to your next assignment, the person who will stand beside you as His promises come to life. This message is not casual, it is urgent. A spiritual window is opening, and it will not remain open forever. You have prayed for a sign, now the sign has come. The Lord is not speaking in riddles anymore. His instruction is clear: open your heart, silence your fear, and be ready to recognize the divine movement around you. This is not a love story, it is a destiny story. And before this year closes, heaven will reveal what has been hidden. The question is not if God will move, but whether you will be ready when He does. Heaven is moving even now. Alignments are forming, paths are straightening, and unseen hands are arranging what the natural eye cannot yet perceive. You may feel uncertainty, but the Spirit of God is already orchestrating divine appointments on your behalf. Hearts are being softened, doors are being prepared to open, and every delay that once frustrated you is now becoming the foundation for your breakthrough. This call is not about romance alone, it is about divine assignment. God is not sending you someone simply to love, He is sending you someone to build with. The one chosen for you will walk beside you in purpose, in battle, in prayer, and in faith. They will not complete you, because only Christ can do that, but they will complement you, strengthening what is weak, speaking faith where you doubt, and igniting a fire in your spirit that refuses to be extinguished. As C.S. Lewis wrote in letters to Malcolm, chiefly on prayer, God has not been trying an experiment on my faith or love in order to find out their quality. He knew it already. It was I who didn't. This insight mirrors your divine transition. The delays and uncertainties were not God testing your faith, but refining it, preparing you to recognize and receive the one He has chosen. But you must listen carefully. The world teaches you to follow attraction. Heaven commands you to follow obedience. The enemy will try to blur this call with confusion, but God's confirmation will always come wrapped in peace. You'll know it's Him, not because it feels exciting, but because it feels right. The one He sends may not meet your checklist, yet their presence will speak to your spirit in a language only heaven can teach. When you meet them, something eternal will awaken within you, a still, deep knowing that whispers, "This is the one." Now, as you step forward into this divine truth, take a moment to let your spirit align with heaven. If this message resonates in your heart, you can write 777 as a simple act of faith and agreement, or simply remain still and receive. Don't rush away. Stay present. Stay open. Because before this message closes, we will end with a prayer, one that will speak directly into your soul, sealing what heaven has begun to reveal to you today. Chosen one, before you can step into what God has prepared, you must understand what marriage truly is in heaven's eyes. It is not a mere union of emotions or attraction. It is a covenant, a divine partnership crafted to advance the kingdom of God. The world has cheapened marriage into romance and convenience, but in the language of heaven, Marriage is a mission. It is where two destinies intertwine so that both can fulfill a purpose greater than themselves. You are not being called to simply fall in love. You are being called to align with God's plan, a sacred union that carries eternal weight and spiritual power. When God joins two souls, He is not just connecting hearts, He is forming a fortress. A covenant marriage becomes a shield against the schemes of darkness, a testimony of faith that confuses the enemy. The love God ordains is not fragile. It is fire, tested. It strengthens when storms come, because it was never built on emotion. It was built on obedience. That is why this call over your life is not casual. God has chosen someone who is spiritually equipped to walk with you, pray with you, and fight beside you. They are not sent to entertain your loneliness, but to multiply your strength. You see, true marriage is a reflection of Christ and His church, sacrificial, pure, and full of purpose. God never designed marriage to simply satisfy longing. He designed it to reveal His nature. That is why the person He is sending will not distract you from Him. They will draw you closer. Their presence in your life will not pull you into chaos, but anchor you in peace. And even when difficulties arise, you will both know this is not something to escape, but something to protect, because heaven itself authored it. God is calling you to see love differently, to see it as a calling, not a convenience. Your union will not just change your personal life, it will shift atmospheres, influence generations, and serve as a living testimony that divine love still exists. This is why you cannot settle for less than what God has prepared. Anything outside of His will may glitter, but it will not last. What He ordains, however, will endure every test, for what heaven unites, no power on earth can separate. Chosen one, God sees what you cannot. From the beginning of time, He has watched the entire pattern of your life, the battles you fought, the tears you shed, the prayers you whispered in secret. Nothing was random. Every victory and every disappointment were guiding you toward the moment when His divine plan would unfold. And now, that moment has come. The person God has chosen for you is not a coincidence. They are a deliberate design, written into your story long before you knew what love even meant. This person is not coming to change your identity. They are coming to reveal the part of you that could only awaken through covenant. They are the missing piece that unlocks the next level of your calling. You were not meant to walk alone forever. God created partnership as a reflection of His own unity, a glimpse of heaven's harmony expressed on earth. That is why when He unites two chosen ones, it is not merely emotional, it is strategic. Their strengths will cover your weaknesses, and your faith will ignite theirs. Together, you will move with a power that neither of you could carry alone. Scripture says in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Those words were not written as poetry, they were written as prophecy. God already foresaw this divine union as part of that plan. When you meet this person, you may sense that something in the atmosphere shifts, like destiny itself takes a breath. That is because heaven has been aligning both of your lives in hidden ways. The timing, the maturity, the faith, the wounds healed just in time for love to be whole. Do not expect perfection, but expect divine compatibility. This person will understand the rhythm of your soul, not because of similarity, but because of spiritual alignment. Their presence will feel familiar, like a melody your heart somehow already knew. And when you pray together, heaven will respond differently, faster, stronger, because your union was designed to multiply spiritual authority. Chosen one, understand this. You are not entering a typical relationship. You are stepping into a covenant assignment. The union God ordains is meant to build, restore, and glorify Him. So guard your heart, stay sensitive to His guidance, and trust that what He is preparing is far greater than your imagination. This person is not an interruption to your destiny, they are the continuation of it. And when the two of you finally meet, you will recognize it not by sight, but by the unmistakable confirmation of peace that only heaven can give. Chosen one, for years you have prayed in silence, asking God to send someone who truly understands your soul, someone who will not just stand beside you but pray beside you. There were nights when you wondered if heaven had forgotten, when your faith felt like a flickering candle in the wind. Yet even in those moments, God was listening. He counted every tear, recorded every word, and responded not with absence but with preparation. He was shaping both you and the one he has chosen, so that when your paths finally meet, you will recognize each other by the language of the Spirit, not the impulses of the flesh. The person God is sending carries the very qualities you once described in your prayers: faith, patience, kindness, strength, and a heart surrendered to the Lord. They have also walked their own wilderness, learning how to love through the eyes of grace. You see, while you were praying for the right person, they were being refined to become that person. Heaven's timing may have felt late, but it has always been perfect. Every delay was mercy, because God refused to give you a promise before you were both ready to handle it. Now, the answer is approaching not as an accident, but as a divine appointment. This is why you must look beyond appearances. God often hides his greatest blessings behind ordinary faces. The one he sends might not arrive with grand gestures or flawless perfection, but their spirit will carry a peace that silences your questions. When you meet them, it won't feel like excitement, it will feel like home. God's response to your prayers is not just about companionship, it's about destiny. The connection you are about to step into will not drain you, it will strengthen you. It will remind you that heaven always keeps its promises. And as you receive this answer, remember this truth: God was never late. He was working behind the scenes, aligning hearts, refining timing, and orchestrating circumstances so that both of you would arrive at this moment whole, healed, and ready. The person coming into your life is not a coincidence. They are the living proof that your prayers reached heaven and that heaven is now responding. Chosen one. This calling upon your life is not about personal happiness alone. It is about heaven's glory being revealed through your story. The union God is preparing for you is far greater than romance. It is a divine mission disguised as love. When he brings two chosen ones together, he does not do it for comfort, but for kingdom purpose. Every true covenant marriage carries within it a ministry, a testimony, and a divine assignment that echoes through generations. Your relationship will not exist to impress the world. It will exist to impact it. When people see how you love, forgive, and pray together, they will see the reflection of Christ and his church. Your home will not be built on fleeting emotions, but on the unshakable foundation of faith. Together, you will serve as a living testimony that God still writes stories, still heals hearts, and still fulfills promises. The light of your love will expose the darkness that once tried to break you. It will become a sanctuary for others who have lost hope that real, holy love still exists. You see, the kingdom of God expands not only through pulpits and sermons, but through marriages that embody his truth. When two believers unite under the same divine purpose, their union becomes a fortress. Every prayer you pray together will ripple through the spiritual realm. Every act of unity will disarm the enemy's plans. Even your peace together will preach a silent sermon, one that says, God is faithful to those who wait. The person God is sending will share your vision, not your vanity. They will walk beside you, not behind you. Their faith will fan the flame of your calling, and your obedience will empower theirs. There will be days when you will carry them through the storm, and days when they will hold you steady when your faith trembles. But through it all, the name of the Lord will be glorified. Chosen one, understand this clearly. Your marriage will not just bless you, it will advance heaven's agenda. It will open doors for ministry, release generational healing, and restore hope in others. You are being called to represent covenant love in a culture that has forgotten what covenant means. So prepare your heart and your faith, for the love story God is writing through you is not for applause, It is for revival. Your union will not just be about two hearts becoming one. It will be about heaven and earth aligning for the glory of God. Chosen one, God will not send you someone who distracts you from Him. He will send someone who draws you deeper into His presence. The person chosen for you will not compete with your faith. They will complete your growth in it. They will be a mirror that reflects your strengths and gently exposes your weaknesses so that both of you can grow closer to Christ. Their love will not pull you away from God, but will push you toward His throne. The connection between you will be more than emotional. It will be spiritual, forged in prayer and sustained by grace. Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." That is exactly what this person will do in your life. They will not let you settle for spiritual complacency. When you doubt, they will remind you of God's promises. When you fear, they will speak faith into your spirit. When you grow weary, they will lift your hands as Aaron and Hur did for Moses. Their words will not flatter you, they will strengthen you. Their presence will not just feel safe, it will feel holy. Together, you will become a living demonstration of how love and faith can walk hand in hand under heaven's authority. But this sharpening process will not always feel easy. Growth never is. Sometimes the one who strengthens you will also challenge you. They may call you out of your comfort zone, remind you of the disciplines you once ignored, and pull you back when you drift from God's will. This is not control, it is covenant protection. They are not sent to fix you, but to fight beside you, to stand with you in the unseen battles no one else knows you're fighting. Through prayer, they will become both shield and sword, a protector and a partner. Chosen one. This is how you will know it's from God. Their presence will make you love Jesus more. You will find yourself praying more often, worshipping more deeply, believing more fiercely. Your relationship will not drain your faith, it will multiply it. And in moments of weakness, when life feels heavy, you will see that this person was never just an answer to loneliness, they were heaven's strategy to keep your flame burning. So embrace this truth. The one God is sending is not only meant to walk beside you through life, but to walk with you toward eternity. They will remind you that your purpose is greater than your pain, that your calling is stronger than your circumstances, and that your God is faithful to finish what He began in you through love, through covenant, and through divine partnership. Chosen one, while you see only what is in front of you, God sees the road that stretches far beyond the horizon. He knows every detour, every storm, and every victory that awaits you. He knows the challenges that will demand more strength than you have alone, and that is why He is sending someone to walk with you through what lies ahead. This person is not just for your present comfort, they are for your future purpose. They are being aligned with your life, not by coincidence, but by divine architecture. Heaven has already written them into the chapters you have not yet lived. God is not just thinking about your heart, He is thinking about your future mission, your calling, and your endurance. The one He sends will be your partner in destiny, someone who can help you navigate both triumph and trial. Together, you will build a foundation strong enough to stand against what is coming. For in every new season, there are new tests, and when those tests arrive, you will not face them alone. Your unity will be your shield, your shared faith will be your fortress, and your love anchored in Christ will be your light in the dark. Do not mistake this connection for something casual. This is not a temporary comfort, it is a divine preparation. God is aligning this relationship to carry you into the next dimension of purpose. You may not yet understand why He has delayed certain blessings or why He kept certain people away, but when this person steps into your life, it will make sense. You will realize that protection sometimes feels like rejection, and delay often disguises direction. This person will see your potential even when you doubt it. They will speak life over your dreams when you are ready to give up. They will remind you of what God said when the world tries to make you forget. When storms rise, they will not run, they will kneel. When you break, they will pray. When your faith trembles, they will remind you who you are and whose you are. God's love for you is too deep to leave your future unguarded. That is why He is aligning you now, so that when the unknown comes, you will already be standing beside someone who carries His Spirit and understands your calling. The future will not surprise God, and with this person by your side, it will not destroy you either. Together, you will move through every season not as two uncertain people, but as one divine partnership established and secured by the hands of heaven itself. Chosen one. Timing in the kingdom of God is sacred. When heaven opens a door, it does not remain open forever. There are moments, rare, divine moments, when everything in the spiritual realm aligns in your favor, and this is one of them. You are standing in a season of divine alignment, where heaven is synchronizing people, opportunities, and circumstances to fulfill what has long been promised. But alignment requires action. If you hesitate, if you allow fear or confusion to delay you, you risk missing the very window that heaven has prepared for your breakthrough. This is why obedience is so critical now. God is moving swiftly, setting things in order before the close of this year. He is whispering instructions to your heart, nudges, confirmations, opportunities for faith, and He expects you to move when He speaks. The enemy, knowing what is at stake, will try to fill your mind with hesitation. Maybe later. Maybe it's not the right time. But delay is one of the enemy's oldest deceptions. What he cannot destroy, he distracts. If he can keep you overthinking, he can keep you from walking into your destiny. Understand this. Obedience is the currency of favor. Every act of faith opens a new realm of blessing. When God says move, He has already prepared provision. When He says speak, He has already softened hearts. Your role is not to understand every detail, it is to trust the one who wrote the plan. The moment you respond, heaven moves with you. Doors swing open, resources appear, peace floods your spirit. But when you resist, you slow down the miracle that was meant for now. The person God has chosen for you is also being prepared at this very hour. They are receiving their own instructions. God's timing will cause your paths to cross at the exact moment you both obey. But if one hesitates, the connection can be delayed. That is why this message carries urgency, not fear, but holy seriousness. Before this year ends, you must be positioned, ready, and responsive to what God is revealing. This is not a time to doubt. This is a time to discern and decide. Heaven is moving fast, and grace is flowing in your favor. If you will move when God moves, obey when He whispers, and trust even when you don't see, you will step through the door that leads directly into your destiny. The window is open now, don't let it close. Chosen one. This is not a message meant to inspire only emotion, it is a divine instruction. God's promises are not automatic, they are activated through obedience. You have received revelation, and now heaven is watching for your response. Faith is not simply believing God can do it. Faith is moving as if He already has. The time to prepare your spirit, your mind, and your heart is now, not later. Before this year ends, the Lord is calling you to take specific spiritual steps to align yourself with what He is about to release. Step 1. Pray for clarity and confirmation. Go into the secret place and speak honestly with God. Ask Him to confirm His word, not through emotion, but through peace. When the promise is truly from Him, your spirit will know. The confirmation will not come in chaos or confusion, but in quiet assurance. Remember, His sheep know His voice. Don't rush. Linger in His presence until you sense the calm conviction that says, "This is the way, walk in it." Step 2. Move in obedience once He confirms. Obedience is the bridge between revelation and manifestation. Once you know God is speaking, act. Take steps toward the promise, whether it means opening your heart again, letting go of someone who isn't aligned with your destiny, or pursuing what God is clearly stirring inside you. Partial obedience is still disobedience. When you move in faith, Heaven moves with you. Step 3. Guard your heart and your mind. This season will test your focus. The enemy will try to sow doubt, fear, and distraction to pull you off course. Stay anchored in the Word. Surround yourself with those who speak life, not confusion. Protect your peace as if it were treasure, because peace is the indicator that you are still walking in God's will. Step 4. Seek godly counsel. Every divine calling needs wise guidance. Talk to trusted mentors or spiritual leaders who can pray with you and help you discern truth from impulse. God often confirms his plans through the mouths of those who walk in wisdom. Do not isolate yourself. Isolation breeds distortion. Community keeps your vision clear. As you take these steps, remember heaven responds to movement. You cannot steer a still ship, but once you move, God will direct your course. The promise you've been waiting for will not appear in passivity. It will appear in pursuit. When you align faith with action, you step into the current of divine timing where miracles manifest naturally. Chosen one, this is your moment of preparation. Before this year ends, make your heart ready. Lay aside distractions, humble yourself in prayer, and say, Lord, I am willing. Heaven honors availability. When you move with God, you cannot miss what is yours, because destiny recognizes obedience. Step forward and watch how every door, every person, and every promise begins to align with the perfect rhythm of His will. Chosen one. Obedience is not always easy, but it is always powerful. Every time you choose to move when God speaks, something shifts in the unseen. The atmosphere around your life begins to change. Chains break quietly, doors unlock naturally, and favor starts to flow where there once was resistance. Heaven responds to movement. It responds to faith that acts before it fully understands. You are not waiting for God to move, He is waiting for you. When you take even the smallest step of obedience, heaven multiplies it. What you do in faith on earth becomes a command in the spiritual realm. Angels are released, divine connections are activated, and the blessings that once seemed far suddenly draw near. This is the mystery of obedience. It is not only a test of trust, but also a trigger of divine manifestation. Every miracle begins with one act of faith that says, Lord, I believe you enough to move. God never asks for obedience to restrict you. He asks for it to protect and promote you. There are things waiting on the other side of your yes that you cannot yet imagine, peace that passes understanding, opportunities you didn't earn, breakthroughs you didn't see coming. When you align your will with His, you step under the covering of divine favor, where acceleration replaces delay and grace replaces striving. The person God is preparing for you is also moving through their own obedience. Even now, the Lord is speaking to them, shaping their heart, healing their wounds, and guiding their steps toward you. Your act of faith and their act of faith will collide at the exact moment heaven has appointed. This is why obedience is not just personal, it is prophetic. Your response to God determines how quickly His promises unfold. You will know heaven has opened over you when peace begins to replace anxiety, when what used to exhaust you now feels effortless, when provision starts appearing without you forcing it. Those are the signs that divine order has been restored. Obedience realigns everything that was out of sync. It brings you back under heaven's rhythm. If you will obey now, before this year closes, you will not enter the next season carrying the same burdens. You will step into it under open skies. The weight you once carried will lift, because obedience always breaks oppression. What once felt blocked will flow freely. The covenant God promised will no longer be delayed. It will manifest, because you chose to trust and move. Heaven's doors are open. Walk through them with boldness, for this is the moment your faith becomes sight. Chosen one. This is the moment everything has been leading to. Every tear, every prayer, every waiting season was not wasted. It was preparing you for this divine hour. Heaven is speaking clearly now. The time for hesitation is over. Before this year ends, the Lord is calling you to step into your destiny with faith, obedience, and courage. You have heard his promise, you have felt his confirmation, and now you must respond. This is not a message meant to inspire your emotions. It is a divine decree meant to awaken your spirit. You stand at the threshold of fulfillment. Behind you lies the season of testing. Ahead of you waits the season of manifestation. All that God has promised, all that he has whispered in your prayers, is ready to take form. But it will not come through waiting. It will come through movement. Heaven is waiting for your yes. The angels assigned to your promise are ready to act the moment you do. You are not stepping into uncertainty. You are stepping into what God has already secured for you. Chosen one, this is the closing of one chapter and the birthing of another. When you obey, you will see divine connections appear as if out of nowhere. The right person, the right timing, the right alignment, it will all converge effortlessly, because heaven's plan never struggles to manifest. It only waits for faith. The one God has chosen for you is not a dream, not a fantasy, but a living reality that heaven is about to reveal. Together, you will carry light into dark places, hope into weary hearts, and glory into a world desperate to see that love ordained by God still exists. So do not let fear delay you. Do not let the noise of the world drown out the whisper of heaven. You were chosen for this moment, and everything you have endured was shaping you to recognize it. This is not the time to shrink back. It is the time to rise. Before this year closes, say yes to God with your whole heart. Open your hands. Release your doubts. Declare, Lord, I am ready for what you have written. And as you say it, heaven will move. Peace will settle in your spirit. Doors will begin to open. What was hidden will start to unfold. Chosen one, the wait is over. This is your moment. Step forward and watch the promise of God take flesh before your eyes. For when heaven declares it, nothing on earth can stop it, and the story written for you is about to begin.